Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here and I'm back again with a brand new video. So before I begin, I just want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, consider subscribing to the channel. Also make sure you leave a thumbs up. A lot of great content is coming soon. With that being said, let's go ahead and put the formalities on the side. This is a special video because this is the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G, and in my opinion this is going to be the most anticipated phone, or at least I should say the most anticipated mid-range device of the year. And this is going to be the successor to the Galaxy A54 5G. I've spent a couple of hours with this phone, which is not a lot of time, but kind of enough time to give you guys my first impressions. So beginning with the design itself. So this color here is called Ice Blue, or what they call Awesome Ice Blue. But basically it's a glass finish on the back, similar style to the A54, which means that it is kind of slippery because it is a glass back and it's a little bit more sensitive. So on the back you also have a triple camera setup, which we will definitely talk about. You have a main sensor, a ultra wide, as well as a macro sensor. And on the bottom is where you'll kind of see more changes. So first of all, you get a USB-C that does support up to 25 watt of wire charging. The speakers on the bottom and the power button and the volume up and down are on the right hand side. However, here's where the differences are between the A54 and the A55 come in play as far as design. So these sides of the phone this time around are made out of metal. Last year's generation, a lot of people thought it was metal, but it's actually plastic. And it's a beautiful kind of finish. So basically it has brushed aluminum all the way around until you get to this power button and the volume up and down, which has this indentation that we've seen in the past, similar to the A15 and the A25 5G. But basically this kind of look on the back, or I would say this shaved metal, gives this phone a really nice grip, and it does give it more of a premium feel and a good look in my opinion. So it actually does not look like a $430 phone. It looks far more expensive, so thumbs up for Samsung for giving us better quality material. So the indentation where the power button and the volume up and down are is where the kind of shaved metal ends, where you get a matte metal finish to it, which again, much better improved aesthetics and practicality from the A15 and the A25. So next on my list is definitely going to be this display. So this time around Samsung, or the Galaxy A55 5G, gives us a 6.6-inch display which still supports a 2340 by 1080p, which means it's a 1080p display, and it is still a Super AMOLED display that does support up to 1000 nits of peak brightness, which means that it does support HDR10+. This is definitely a really good display. Not a lot has changed from previous display. However, this time around Samsung does use Gorilla Glass Victus for, I guess, better protection when it comes to drops and things like that, or scratches. And also this display does give you the ability to switch from standard 60 Hz to up to 120 Hz. So when I say up to 120 Hz, the display will decide whether you need 120 Hz or not. So it kind of calibrates it depending on what you're doing or what task are you doing. So when you're not using the display, it's not going to keep the high refresh rate, which will save battery life. So this is such a solid display. If I were to nitpick or try to find something that's not good about it, would be the kind of bezels. So they are a little bit on the larger side. However, they don't bother me much. Moral of the story, this still is a really good display to keep or to have with your mid-range device. So thumbs up for Samsung for not slouching on the display. Okay, so back to the camera conversation. So this phone does have, like I said, a triple camera setup. So you basically get a 50 megapixel main sensor at f1.8 aperture, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a 5 megapixel macro sensor. The front-facing camera has 32 megapixel resolution. So basically, from what I've been reading, from what I've been testing here and there on this phone so far, this phone does seem to have a little bit of improvement in low light. According to Samsung, I still have to make more tests or take more pictures, but basically what I found out is that it takes pictures very fast. Obviously, you can switch between photo and video seamlessly, and it does support 4K video at 30 frames per second, and also you can shoot video at 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second, and it does also have gyro electronic image stabilization. So a lot of camera features are found here. You can also, if you want to explore it a little bit further, you have a couple of extra modes that you can dig into in the settings option, where you see kind of photo, video, and where it says more. If you click on that, you'll have pro mode, pro video, night shot, food shot, panorama, macro, super slow-mo, standard slow-mo, hyper time-lapse, dual recording, or single take. So a lot of features that are found in the camera. I will be doing a full camera review, and I will be giving you guys more camera thoughts and impressions on my Instagram, so follow me there. Link will be in the description. Alright, so next up is the performance aspect of this phone. So in the performance, I want to say this. This phone does support a higher chipset and a better processor than previous generation. So it does have the Exynos 1480 as far as the processor, and it is octa-core based on a 4nm architecture. You also have 128GB of standard storage and a pretty nice flex of 8GB of RAM. So you can multitask like a boss. This phone will be no slouch at that. Even when it comes to the standard daily tasks like browsing the web, going through social media, doing whatever you need to do as far as light tasks, it handles it like a boss. I haven't tested out gaming yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be really good. So stay tuned for my 1 week review on this phone. That's when I'll be doing more tests. Okay, so yeah, like I said, going through articles, browsing the web, light tasks, it handles it like a boss. It also supports a 5000 milliamp hour battery, which is the same battery that is seen on previous generation. Battery life on here so far has been really good. And also in addition to all of that, you also have a IP67 water and dust resistance on this phone. So thumbs up for Samsung for making that happen. If I were to kind of again nitpick and complain a little bit, it would be the fact that this phone does not support wireless charging, which may be a big deal to some people, not as much to others. It's not really that big of a deal for me. It would have been nice. I do use wireless charging when I'm at work or when I'm about to go to bed, but I can live without it. The 25 watt of fast charging is plenty enough for me. And a quick side note that I want to add, if you live in the United States, then this phone technically is something it's not supposed to be supported in the US, but you can get it under carriers like T-Mobile or kind of carriers that support T-Mobile. Keep that in mind. Being said, so in my first impressions of the Galaxy A55, this is definitely a solid successor from the A54. Would I upgrade instantly? So far, my answer is yes. However, let me do a little bit more tests. Let me see how far this phone has become, or how good is this phone, to kind of give you guys a better answer on whether you should upgrade or not if you have the A54. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.